arms up tight, wanna let loose.
What's up YouTube drone community? In today's video, I'm going to be talking about SmartCapture for the DJI Mavic Air drone. First off, let me start by saying I've never flown a Spark before. I've never owned a Spark before. By the time the Spark came out, I had already owned many other drones. So fast forward, here we are today with the DJI Mavic Air, which has the SmartCapture mode just like the Spark, or supposedly a little bit better. Now I must admit, I was very skeptical at the beginning. I didn't even want to try this mode because I figured, hey, what's the point of having to open the drone, turn on the controller, connect my smartphone, and do all of that just to go into the SmartCapture mode? Really didn't make much sense to me. That's why I figured I'm not even going to use this mode, review this mode, talk about this mode, anything of the sort, until I found out that in one of the updates the DJI did, they actually enabled the SmartCapture mode to be programmed to this button. So all that I needed to do was don't even walk with my controller, just walk with the drone, charged of course, no controller, unfold the drone, click this button twice, put it down on the ground, stand in front of it, and the camera does its thing, moving up and down, trying to capture me or to focus in on me. There was light sequence going on here. These small thin little lights were like going through a color sequence. Manual explains everything, what the lights mean, what the lights don't mean, that kind of stuff. I'll put a link below to the manual. However, I didn't really remember all of that stuff in the moment at Flushing Meadows Park, so I just kind of went with the flow. I followed the camera, I paid attention to it, I put my hand up, and I waited until I saw, look, I got this feeling this thing is locked on to me, like I could feel that it was locked on to me. This mode responds beautifully to the point where I feel like if I need to do a little selfie something, in particular indoors, like if I'm in a nice big open indoor location, I feel comfortable enough to walk with this drone, to do some selfies or to take small videos and actually not even bother to walk with the remote. At first, I felt like I would need to have this remote just in case something goes wrong, blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, you know what? Forget the remote. I'm not even going to touch it. Let me see if I can fly this thing and control this thing without the remote and trust it. And boy, I loved it. Not only that, but if you notice in the video clips, the sun was shining on me, it was shining on the drone. I know it made it even more difficult for this drone to pick me up after being hit by the sun, because the sun was setting and I was at an angle where the sun was hitting the drone from the side and hitting me from the side. Maybe it was helpful, maybe it wasn't, but even when I rotated, I went around backing the sun, I came around the other direction away from the sun. This drone performed beautifully. I love this mode, especially indoors. I think it will handle even better with the forward and the rear obstacle avoidance. I feel like this drone is pretty safe. You only have to watch when you're going left and going right, and the drone does not move too fast. Your hand actually moves faster than the drone, so if you time it properly, you do it a few times so you understand exactly how the drone works, you won't have a problem moving left, right. Guys, again, I can't stress enough, I went into this review judging this SmartCapture mode and came out absolutely loving it. I hope that this is a mode they'll put in the Mavic Pro 2, because it's something that I would like to know that I have on my personal drone, just in case I'm going somewhere and it may be indoors. I'd like to know that I have a little drone that I can unfold and it can do some pretty cool stuff without even opening the remote controller. These lights in front here are basically your guide. This tells you everything. When you hold your hands up like this to do the selfie, this initiates and tells the drone, hey, he wants to take a selfie shot. You hold it up like this. These lights start flashing red really, really fast as an indication as, hey, I'm about to snap the shot. Then you have time to strike a pose. I was able to, when I saw the red lights flashing, jump up in front of the camera and kind of like strike a pose, The drone did not move. I thought it would push back. No, it stayed right there and allowed me to do whatever I wanted. And then bam, snap the shot. So you can almost tell after doing it or playing with it a few times exactly when it's gonna snap that shot. If you really take the time to learn this mode, this can be really, because it's so small and so compact, this can be a really awesome kind of a selfie drone that you take everywhere you go, even to little events like the Dobby and all of these little cool handheld palm drones. This can supplement just perfectly. And like I said, I believe that the hand gestures work even better indoors than it does outdoors. So this will be even more exciting. Now, to initiate the recording, you must do something like this. Make a little symbol like this, something, I'm not sure, but this seemed to work for me. It worked for me fine. And they say in the manual, keep it above your nose. So I kept it above my nose, even with sunglasses on, and it started recording beautifully. You can almost tell when it starts to record, because the lights that are always on in front here blinking on green, they disappear. The lights completely disappear when this drone starts to record, and that's how you know it's recording. Once you initiate the record, this thing will not stop until you do that little symbol again. I'm talking, you can land this drone, walk around with it. The recording will never stop until you initiate that symbol and the lights come on back in front. I even forgot that it was recording. I forgot to take it off, and I landed. I walked over to the bench where I took it out, everything, didn't even realize it was still recording. This is super awesome, because the fact that it can record you and it will never stop until you tell it to is absolutely cool. Good, enough bragging about these features and this mode. Let's talk a little bit about improvements. Now, a few things. I feel like the hand gestures can be a little bit more responsive, but under the conditions, being outdoors, I was quite happy with it. I feel like it's something that I could manage, but definitely there's always room for improvement in terms of sharpness of response and quality. But based upon the technology that exists right now, I am super, super loving what this thing is able to do with just your hands alone. I am impressed, especially moving out like this. Sometimes it would miss. I would have to do it once or twice, but eventually I got it. I got the knack of it. I feel that if you were to fly this mode a few times, you would really get to understand how the drone is responding. You'll get to know it better, and eventually you'll tailor yourself to how the drone responds, and you'll get better at it. So I feel it's just a matter of practice. When the battery was about to die, I wish there would have been a beep. That's another improvement. Maybe a beep, 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 initiating that the battery's dying. I had no idea the battery was dying. I knew it was running for a while, but I didn't know the battery was dying. Eventually, when the battery got down to one light, the drone just stopped responding to me and just decided, hey, let me land. As long as the drone is not too far from you, and it can't get too far from you because it does not go too far from you when you extend out or when you extend in, or when you go up and down, it does not go much higher than you, and it goes down and possibly land, worst case. As long as you keep it near you, you're not next to a pool or anything like that, it should not be dangerous. Even if you're next to a pool, you should be backing the pool, and the drone should be going away from the pool and towards you, and you should be preventing the drone from entering the pool. If that makes sense. The other improvement that I would really like to see is that while the drone is recording, I wish that you can put your fingers up like this. It would still sense that you want to snap a photo, and maybe snap a photo or two and then go back to recording. I found myself many times recording, and when I put my fingers up like this to tell the drone snap a photo, I kept getting frustrated, and I wonder, why is it not snapping a photo? Why is it not snapping a photo? And then I realized, hey, hello, it's recording. I need to stop the recording first with this sequence, and then when it's finished recording, then I can initiate the sequence to take photographs, because there's no screen, there's no remote, there's no indication of what the drone is doing except these lights in front of here. So the simpler and easier you make it to use, the less you would have to remember. And I think that is something that can be implemented in some kind of software update. The last feature that I really love that I need to talk about is handing the drone over to someone else. So that sequence is, you drop your hands, the person comes next to you, they raise their hands, it takes a few seconds, the drone picks them up, and then they have control. When they move their hands, the drone responds to them. That's an absolutely cool feature in case you want to hand it over to someone else. And like I said, this drone is very simple and easy to fly, and it moves very slow in this mode, so there's not much to be worried about as long as you're in a big open indoor space or a fairly decent outdoor space. And of course, you have your forward obstacle avoidance and your rear obstacle avoidance to help you when going back and forward. Even though the drone doesn't go back much, nor does it come forward fast that it could probably hit anything. I don't think that's enough to worry about. Guys, try this mode, take some absolutely awesome, cool selfies. Share it with me on Instagram, share it with me on Facebook. I would love to see the selfies that you can take with this thing, because when you initiate it, you can do whatever you want and the drone will flash its red lights. Take that picture. Let me see some awesome selfies from you guys. All in all, guys, I'm really impressed by this mode. It is absolutely not gimmicky at all, especially if you're some kind of indoor trainer or something like that. The only thing you need to be aware of is the noise. If you can look past the noise and focus on what you're doing, this little thing without a remote controller can do an absolutely fantastic job for you. I hope you guys enjoyed this little tips and review about the SmartCapture and the DJI Mavic Air. Just a quick update. A company contacted me, asked me to review their filters. I told them, hey, if you send me your filters, I'm not putting any fluffs, bells, or whistles. I will tell it to my community as straight as it is. And they said, great, that's what they want to hear, because they absolutely back and believe in their products. The filters are on the way, so I will be doing a filter review on this drone before I give it away. Will I be giving away the filters? I don't know. After the review, I'll contact the company and see what they want to do, because it is theirs technically, not mine. So guys, keep it posted right here, keep it locked right here. I'm trying to finish these reviews before the Autel Evo comes out, before the DJI Mavic Pro 2 comes out, because I definitely want to get those drones and review them and be over and finished with this drone and give it to somebody else to enjoy. This is your boy Drone X Factor. I've got to go finish editing this video, and leave a comment below, hit like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Follow me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram, and keep it locked right here on YouTube. This is your boy Drone X Factor, and I've got to be editing this clip right now.